Shalom, 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 Yasharella. It's your boy, Brother Samuel, back at you with another quick edifying video, right? Today's topic is going to be keep your eyes on the prize, which is Yahawashi, right? First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Halal, Yahawah, Bahasham, Mashiach, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rechach, Hardash, right? That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahawah, right? And his only begotten Son's name, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, whose name is Yahawashi, right? In the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone from Tahar on down, who have ruled well through the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days. Another double honor to all the elders who have paved the way and pushed this truth and this gospel through the four corners of the earth, right? So like I said, today's lesson, it's going to be called Keep Your Eye on Yahawashi, right? Which is the prize, right? And that's what we gotta make sure that we're doing, right? Especially, going into these last days, man, we gotta keep our eye on Yahawashi, man, right? With everything going on, we cannot get distracted here, right? And Yahawashi had basically, lived his life as an example of how we should live our life, right? And when you have an example of something, or you have a sample, right, you look at it and that's something that you look at to try to emulate, right? So not only are you just looking at Yahawashi, right, as an example, but you're trying to follow in those footsteps, right? So let's get this real quick. Let's go to 2 Peter, right? 2 Peter, Salakia, 1 Peter 2 and 21, right? And it reads, "For even hereunto ye were called, because of a Mashiach also suffered for us, leaving us an example that we should follow his steps," right? So when you following somebody, you got to watch to see where they're going, right? You got to keep your eye, right? And our job, right, is to keep our eye on Yahawashi, right? Let's compare this real quick. Let's just look at it in another thing. Let's see. This is the GNT. It says, "It was to this that the Most High called you, for Hamashiach himself suffered for you and left you an example, so that you would follow in his steps," right? And that's what we have to do. We have to follow in the steps of Yahawashi, right? He's that perfect example, right? That lamb without blemish, right? And that's who we should follow and strive to be, right? And when we follow, right, we gotta put our trust, right, that he's leading us in the right direction, right? Because he is the true way, right? Like he said, he's the door, right? But we gotta put our trust in Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, man. That he's, to lead us, right? Because who else, right? If he's our shepherd, right? Who else is gonna lead us, right? But someone who has, a hidden agenda for us, right? Let's go to, right, an oldie but goodie, right? This is Proverbs 3:5. It says, "Trust in Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding," right? So we have to trust in Yahawashi, right, to lead us, and we have to stay focused and keep our eye on Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. It says, "In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths," right? So if we keep our eye on him, on Yahawashi, right, he's going to lead us to the direction that we need to be in, right? He's going to lead us, right, to our salvation, man, right? Let's go to the book of Psalm, right? Because you can't trust in nothing else in these last days, man. You have to trust in Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi in these last days. This is the book of Salakia, the book of Psalm, right? 118 and verse number 8. It says, "It is better to trust in Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi than to put confidence in man," right? You can't trust in man, right? Especially in these last days, right? I was watching there's that the newest movie of The Purge, man, right? And man, if you haven't seen it, man, that's it's a good movie just to watch to see kind of what's going on and like how things can be, right? That's going to be coming up, man, during Jacob's trouble, right? And towards this end, right? It was race wars, right? They were purging people. It was all hell, right? And it's just like, man, Esau was so wicked, right, in that movie, man, and that's all he wanted was just blood, right? And he just set himself out to do that, man. And it was just the wickedness, right? And you could just only imagine, right? That's a movie. Just imagine what's gonna be in real life, man. Right? Verse 9 it says, Psalms 118 and verse 9 it says it is better to trust in Yahawashi than to put confidence in princes. Right? So we can't put our trust and our confidence in man or right in the kings of this earth, man. Right? We got to put our trust in the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, man. Which is Yahawashi, man. Right? Let's go to the book of John. Right? Right? So how do we put our trust? Let's go to the book of John, chapter 5, verse number 24. And it reads, Verily I say unto you, he that heareth my word and believeth on him that sent me have everlasting life, and shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death unto life. Right? And that's what we gotta, that's what we have to keep our focus on, right? Is our belief, especially in these last days, man, when everything is all hell is breaking loose, right? When there's, you're gonna have people, kicking in doors, right? People killing for food, like for basic necessities, man. Right? You're gonna have people turn on each other. Hey, it's gonna be like when you read Second Ezra, right? When you read Second Ezra 15 and 6, hey, it's gonna be crazy in these days, man. Right? But you gotta have the belief, right, that Yahweh Shai, right, is that way. And is that safety, it's that strong tower, right? In these times, in these perils, man. But your belief is gonna be, it has to be on point, man. Right? You gotta have that strong belief in these coming days, because it's gonna be hectic, right? And the only person that's gonna be able to bring us out is Yahweh Shai, right? Stay in the book of John, right? And let's go to 11 and 25. And it reads, Yahawashi said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live, right? And now this is talking about Salakia. I cannot think of his name. Lazarus, right? When Lazarus had died, right? But this is, but this is for everything, right? This is for us in general too, man. Right? It says, Yahawashi said unto, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet he shall live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this? Right? And Martha said, she saith unto him, Yea, Lord, I believe that thou art the Hamashiach, the Son of the Most High, which should come in the world, right? So we got to have our belief, man. We got to have our belief in Yahweh Shemei Shai in these last days, right? Because our belief, right, can ultimately be our salvation in these last days, man. Right? Because if you don't believe, right, that you're going to be saved, if you don't believe that Yahweh Shai is coming back, hey, man, you already are doomed. You know what I'm saying? So we got to make sure that we're keeping our faith, right? Our faith and our belief in the Mashiach Yahawashi, right? And his return, right? The faith that, guess what? As long as we stay faithful and true, right? And hearken unto the words of Yahweh Shai, that hey, that ultimately, we'll be part of that chosen and we'll be saved, man. Right? But we got to keep our eye on Yahawashi, right? Because there's so many different distractions in the world, right? The scriptures don't tell you to keep your eye on, you know, how many points LeBron James has scored, right? The scriptures don't tell you to keep your eye on the latest TikTok video, right? Right? The scriptures to tell you to watch, right? Watch and pray, man. You got to keep looking. You got to and stay in these scriptures, man. Right? Well, let's see. And we got to ultimately we got to stay focused all the way until death, right? Let's go to the book of Job, right? Let's see what Job. Let's go to Job 13 and 15, right? And it says, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him, but I will maintain my own ways before him, right? He also shall be my salvation, right? So, even Job, man, Job knew, right? Job was going through hell, but Job knew, hey, that he was going to put his trust in Yahawah Shai, right? That even if he had to die, Job was going to put his trust, right? And that's how we got to be in these last days, right? We got to keep our eye on Yahweh Shai, even until death, right? Because ultimately we know that's ultimately then it's still going to be, right? We're still going to be part of that, Lord's will, right? He brings us back, right? That we'll be able to come back and with our other fellow brothers and sisters, right? Who are here, man, right? So it's important, man, that you got to keep this thing, right? To death, right? You got to keep your faith and your trust, and you got to keep your eye on Yahweh Shai until death, man, right? Because the scriptures say that some of us, right, are going to have to die on this side, right? And some are going to make it unscathed through everything, right? But those, hey, if you got to choose it, if you got to choose death, right, keep your trust and your eye on Yahweh Shai, right? Another good one, right? Let's get a good example, right, of keeping your eye on Yahweh Shai, right? This is it's the book of Matthew, right, chapter 14, and I'm gonna go to start at verse Salakia, verse 22, right? And this is Yahweh Shai walks on the sea, right? It says, verse 22, 14, Matthew 14 and 22. It says, and straightway Yahweh Shai constrained his disciples to get into a ship and to go before him unto the other side while he sent the multitude away. And when he had sent the multitude away, he went up unto the mountain apart to pray. And when the evening was come, he was there alone. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. And in the fourth watch of the night, Yahawashi went unto them, walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, it is a spirit. And they cried out for fear. But straightway Yahawashi spake unto them, saying, be of good cheer. It is I, be not afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. And he said, come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Yahawashi, right? So Peter was keeping his eye on Yahawashi, right? He was walking on water. He kept his focus, right? So think about that, man. Like spiritually, we got to keep ourselves focused on Yahawah Shem Shai, right? And just think about the things that you can do when you keep focused on Yahawah Shem Shai, right? It says, but when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid and began to sink. He cried, saying, Yahawah Shem Shai, save me, right? And immediately Yahawashi stretched forth his hand and caught him and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? Right? So just think about it. When Peter, as soon as Peter looked away from Yahawashi, what happened? Right? He started thinking about the cares like of the world, right? The wind, right? All this other stuff, right? Instead of him keeping the focus on Yahawashi, he was able to walk on the water and he was walking towards Yahawashi. But when he started to get distracted by the cares, guess what? He started to sink. But what did he do, right? It says, but when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid and began to sink, and he cried, saying, Lord, save me, right? So he cried unto Yahawashi, right? The Yahawashi, say, hey, just in a minute, man, I'll be there, right? It says, and immediately Yahawashi stretched forth his hand, right? Immediately, right? So guess what? When you start getting distracted, hey, you better put your focus back on Yahawashi, right? Bahasham, right? It says, and immediately Yahawashi stretched forth his hand and caught him, right? And caught him and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt, right? And we know that Peter is the rock, man. You know what I'm saying? Peter has the keys to this thing, right? So what more us, man? And we got to continue to pray that Yahawah have mercy upon us and increase our faith in these last days, right? To be able to endure this thing, right? And to help us to keep our eye on Yahawah in these last days, right? I thought that was a mighty one right there. I love that that passage there, man, because you read it, there's so many different levels to it, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to the book of Matthew 26 and verse 41, right? So basically, we got to make sure that we're watching and we're keeping our eye right on Yahawashi. It says, this is Matthew 26 and 41. It says, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak, right? So this is when, Yahawashi was going up to pray, right? But the disciples, they was falling asleep on him and doing all this other stuff, man, right? But, we can put this to us these days, man, because we got to make sure that we're watching and praying, right? That we enter not into temptation, right? So like Peter, right? We can't be looking down and trying to, and seeing the wind getting boisterous, like the water uproaring. We got to keep our eye focused on Yahawashi, right? Keep our eye focused on Yahawashi, right? Is that what I want on that? It says, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak, right? And we know that our flesh is weak, right? We go off all the time, right? So we got to make sure, right? Our cure, right? Or our antidote is to keep our eye on Yahawashi, right? Who is that perfect example for us, right? So we got to keep that, right? Let's get another one, right? I know I bring this one out a lot too. It's the book of Luke, 21 and verse number 36. It says, watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and shall stand before the Son of Man. Right? So ultimately we got to continue to watch, stay focused, keep our eye on Yahawashi, right? And pray, right? That we may be accounted worthy, right? Like Peter cried unto the Lord, man. Right? We got to make sure that, hey, when we're, if we're in trouble, right, to get our focus back on Yahawashi and cry unto him, man. Right? And it said, in the scripture, it said he immediately grabbed him, right? So we gotta put our trust that when we cry unto Yahawah, that immediately he's going to, protect us and shield us from the evils of this world, right? So that we may be able to stand before him in the last day, right? And how do we do that too? Spiritually, right? We got to go in these scriptures and see what's going on, right? And how do we do that, right? This is the book of Revelation, chapter 19, verse 10. It says, and I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahawashi. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahawashi is the spirit of prophecy, right? So if we keep our eye on Yahawashi, guess what? Then we have to keep our eye on the prophecies, on what's going on, right? So we see now, hey, that, the prophecies that we see coming up now, right? Are you had, what's his name? The Tesla dude. You had him, right? Talking about a neural link, right? Talking about trying to implant something in your brain, man. Right? You have all these different, you can just type on Google. You can type these things, man. With these, they're trying to plant these things in your hand, right? With the MO to the TB, right? We got all this stuff that's happening, right? And we got to make sure that we're watching for these prophecies that are said to come, right? And we know that these prophecies have to come right before Yahawah Shai comes, right? So the way to watch and keep your eye is to keep watch on these prophecies and the things that are going to happen, right? And we know through the prophecies are all out throughout the Bible, right? Throughout the book, right? And what is let's get this book of Hebrews, what is it, 10 and 7, right? And it says, then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will, O Most High, right? So the book, right, ultimately, right, the book of prophecies, right, which is this book, right, is ultimately Yahawashi, right? Yahawashi comes in the volume of the book, right? And that's how we keep ourselves focused, right? We keep ourselves focused by studying and reading, right, these scriptures, right? And we're keeping our focus on Yahawashi, right? Which are the prophecies, right? Which are all the sayings in the Bible, right? Let's get this real quick. Let's see. So we got to make sure that we're watching, we're praying. Let's get this. Let's get Mark. Salakia. Mark chapter 13 and start at number 33. It says, take ye heed and watch and pray, for ye know not when the time is. For the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey, who left his house and gave authority to his servants and to every man his work, and the commanded the porter to watch. Watch ye therefore, for ye not know when the master of the house cometh, at even, or at midnight, or at the cocking of the cocking, or in the morning. Right? It says, lest coming suddenly he find you sleeping. And what I say unto you, I say unto you all, watch. Right? So we got to keep watching, right, for Yahawashi. We got to keep our eye on Yahawashi. Keep our eye in these scriptures, right? In this book, in these prophecies, man. Right? We got to be that watchman. You know how you got them neighbors, man, that be peeking out the window, man. They always sitting there watching. Hey, we got to keep watching and keep watching for Yahawashi, right? But we don't sit there and peek out the curtains, man. We look through these scriptures, right? We look at the news. We see what's going on, right? We look out in the sky, right, and see the chariots, right? We see chariots showing up every day, right? These are things that we know through the prophecies that these things are happening, and we know, that the end, right, is coming soon, man, right? Lord's will, right? Let's get this. It's the book of Matthew, right, chapter 19, verse number 27. It says, then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahawashi said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me, right? So we got to keep our eye and we got to follow Yahawashi, right? It says, ye that have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel, right? And every one that hath forsaken house or brethren or sisters or father or mother or wife or children or lands for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life, right? But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first, right? So ultimately, we have to make sure, that we are keeping our focus, right? And what does that mean? Hey, that means we might have to give up some things on this side, right? We might have to look past some of these things that we have on this side that can distract us and have us start sinking into that water, man. Right? And we got to make sure that we keeping our focus and our eye on Yahawashi, man. Right? Who is our salvation, ultimately, right? Let's see. Let's go to this real quick. Let's go to the book of Psalm. Right? Book of Psalm 37, verse number 7. Right? And it says, rest in Yahawah Bahasham Shai and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Right? So we gotta wait patiently on the Lord, man. We gotta watch and wait and pray and stay patient, right, on Yahawashi, man. We know that he's coming, right? And we know that, we getting antsy, but guess what? We understand that these prophecies must all come to pass, right? Because none shall, let me get that, right? Let me just, where is it? Isaiah, right? We know that ultimately that all these things have to come to pass, right? It says, Isaiah 55:11, it says, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereunto I sent it. Right? So we know we gotta wait patiently because things have not come to pass as of yet. So we gotta stay focused, and we gotta keep our eye on Yahawashi Shai and stay patient in these last days. Right? And get one more to close it out, right? It's one of my favorite ones I used to always bring out. This is Revelation 14:12, right? And it says, here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of Yahawashi, right? So ultimately, hey, we got to keep our eye, right, in these scriptures, right? And watching for these prophecies and these things to pass and to warn our people of what's to come, right? To continue to put out these lessons to edify and feed the sheep in these last days, right? Because we know, hey, if you turn your head your way and you're not watching, hey, you might miss out on everything, man. Right? So stay focused, man. We know that the prize, right, is salvation, man, and that's what we all looking for, right? And we got to make sure that we're waiting patiently and we're keeping our eye, right? Like Peter was first doing when he first saw Yahawashi walking on water, right? We got to stay focused, right? And if we get off focus, and we got to make sure that we refocus ourselves back on Yahawashi, man, who can save us from drowning and keep us back on that path, man, walking towards him, right? And our faith and our belief in these last days, man. So I hope this has been edifying, right? I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Halal, Yahawah, Bahasham, Mashiach, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakak Radash. Peace and blessings to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. A mighty shalom, right, to all the Akim, right, and the Akwafs, right, who are holding fast in these last days, who are praying for one another, right, who are reading, right, and staying diligent, man, right. And with that, shalom.